This is the first of several videos where I'll be reading the privacy statement and the terms and conditions of the big major direct-to-consumer testing companies such as Ancestry, Family Tree DNA, MyHeritage, 23andMe, and Living DNA. And the idea is just to see how long it takes me to read through them and to ask the question, is that reasonable? So I'm starting with Ancestry first of all, and we're going to look first of all at the privacy statement. Your privacy is important to you. That's why it's so important to us. When you make new discoveries with us, we want you to be confident that we are good stewards of your personal information. Our customers have trusted us with personal information for over 20 years, and we're committed to helping ensure you feel just as secure today. Your trust is our top priority. Whether it's your family history or your DNA data, we always strive to manage your personal information with integrity and respect. Earning your trust as we protect your privacy is at the core of what we do every day. We will continue to earn your trust by 1. Being transparent to avoid confusion and surprise, 2. Simplifying our policies and making your choices clear, 3. Making sure you have control of your own data. Read our full privacy statement. You're at the center of the Ancestry DNA story. From your kit to your results and beyond, see how we put you and your privacy first all along the way of your DNA experience. And then there is a video there that we could play. I'm not going to just now. And then there's a section on frequently asked questions. Learn how our policies put transparency, simplicity and control into action for you. Your data. What information does Ancestry collect about me? How does Ancestry use information about me? Does Ancestry share information about me? How can I review, update or delete information about me? How does Ancestry use data about me in scientific research? Who owns my data? Your privacy. Does my Ancestry profile disclose personal information? What are my privacy settings with Ancestry DNA? How are living people protected by Ancestry DNA? How are living people protected in family trees? Your security. How is my DNA data protected? How does Ancestry keep personal information safe? How can I keep my password secure? How secure is my payment information? And then sharing with others. Who can see my DNA results? Can Ancestry users contact each other? Can other Ancestry users see my activity on Ancestry? What's the difference between public, private and unindexed trees? What happens when I share my tree? Who can comment on my tree? Who can edit content in family trees? Do I get credit for the content I post? How do Facebook and Ancestry work together? Does Ancestry respond to law enforcement requests? Then there's a section on advertising and cookies. Will Ancestry market to me? What is Ancestry's cookie policy? So those are all the frequently asked questions. And then there's an additional section down here with a variety of links on how to manage your information and privacy on Ancestry, profile, account options, site preferences, email preferences, test preferences, alerts, family tree settings, manage your privacy on our related businesses, those 3 websites. Learn more from important resources, Ancestry DNA research and collaboration, cookies, transparency report, guide for law enforcement, view archived privacy statement versions, view archived terms and conditions versions, community rules, modern slavery statement. So there's a lot of information there, but I'm really just going to read the full privacy statement just to see how long it takes. But so far, we're probably up to about 5 minutes now. So your privacy, let's see how long this is. Okay, it goes on for quite a bit of time. And this is just about privacy. It's not about the terms and conditions. So, at Ancestry, your privacy is a top priority. Ancestry is committed to being a good steward of your personal information, handling it in a responsible manner and securing it with administrative, technical and physical safeguards. We also believe in being honest, direct and transparent when it comes to your data. Ancestry follows 3 guiding principles when it comes to your privacy. Transparency, we work hard to be transparent about what personal information we collect and process. Simplicity, we try to use easy to understand language to describe our privacy practices to help you make informed choices. Control. We give you control over the personal information you provide to us, including your DNA data and how it is used, shared and retained. Other important things for you to understand: why you use our services. You always maintain ownership of your DNA and DNA data. You can manage and delete it as described in this statement. You may discover unexpected facts about yourself or your family when using our services. Once discoveries are made, we can't undo them. When you make new discoveries with us, you should feel confident and informed about how we use your personal information. Our full privacy statement is below, and we encourage you to read it. The effective date of this statement is April the 30th, 2018. 1. Introduction. At Ancestry, we enable journeys of self-discovery. As a result, we collect, process and store your personal information as you use our websites, mobile applications and services, collectively the services. Personal information is information that can identify you, such as your name, email or street address, or it may be information that could reasonably be linked back to you, including your genetic information. This privacy statement describes our practices for collecting, storing and processing your personal information and the controls we provide you to manage it within our services. In addition, we have a cookie policy that describes our use of browser cookies and similar tracking technologies, which is considered a part of this privacy statement. Well, I'm not going to read the cookie policy because I think it's fairly standard throughout. Excuse me. Number 2. Account creation and your engagement with Ancestry services. This personal information required to create a basic Ancestry account is only your name and email address and a password. Access to Ancestry records to help you build a family tree or to your DNA features, ethnicity, estimate, etc. requires additional personal information including payment details and, for the DNA test, the test code when you activate your DNA test kit, and a saliva sample from which we can extract genetic information. Account creation also requires you to agree to the Ancestry terms and conditions and this privacy statement by clicking continue on the account creation page. So if creating an account means that we have to agree to both the privacy statement that I'm reading now and the terms and conditions, which I'll read afterwards, then the only way that you can know what those statements contain is to actually read them. So this is a good exercise in seeing how long it takes to read both the privacy statement and the Ancestry terms and conditions. Okay, so let's continue. By clicking continue, you are telling us that you consent to Ancestry collecting, processing and sharing your personal information, including your genetic information if you have taken the Ancestry DNA test, as described in this privacy statement and in any other documents referenced in this privacy statement. Okay, well, so far they've referenced the cookie policy and the terms and conditions. Okay. At any time, you can request Ancestry delete information you have uploaded into your account, such as a family tree or your genetic information. Please see Section 10 for specific details about deleting your data. If you no longer wish to have an Ancestry account, please go to your account settings and request that your account be deleted. Number 3. What information does Ancestry collect from you? The table below describes the information we collect from you to provide the services. In this privacy statement, we refer to this as your personal information. So they have a table now with various information categories and then the use description. So account information includes your name, email address, a password that you provide when you create an Ancestry account, a mobile phone number that you may voluntarily provide so we can notify you of DNA test result status or when you contact Ancestry member services. Credit card payment information such as your credit card number and your billing and shipping addresses when you purchase something from Ancestry, such as Ancestry subscription or a DNA test kit. Category number 3, DNA kit activation information. When you activate a DNA test kit, we collect your DNA test code, your sex, your year of birth. Profile information. We collect the information that you provide when you voluntarily create a user profile. This information may be seen by other Ancestry users. Additional personal details that you provide in your profile, for example a profile image, your name, age, location, will be visible to other Ancestry users. User-provided content. Information you provide about yourself or other living individuals when you voluntarily contribute to the services or participate in community discussions. By that they also mean building a family tree, because that's what they talk about as the services, using the websites, the mobile applications and services. Okay, so using the website includes building a family tree. What other information? Yes, so we're here, profile. And then contribute to the services you provide, user-provided content. For example, you might contribute details, stories, images about you or other users' family trees, annotate ancestry content or records. Information about deceased persons is not personal information under this privacy statement. And in fact, GDPR, the new European law, General Data Protection Regulation, does not apply to deceased persons. Genetic information. We extract your DNA from your saliva at one of our partner laboratories when you send it back to us in the tube provided with your Ancestry DNA test kit. We convert your DNA into machine-readable code, DNA data, which is used to provide you an ethnicity estimate. Your DNA data is also used to provide other information about you, such as your connection to genetic relatives in our database and any genetic markers associated with physical traits such as hair color, or traits associated with your health and wellness. And there is a little pop-up that says these are DNA sequences at a particular region in the genome. Genetic markers can have a signature or pattern that is unique to an individual. So they use the DNA data to provide them with information about physical traits and also health risks and wellness, which is interesting because they're currently not using that publicly. A note about your DNA and saliva. Once our laboratory partner has produced your DNA data, the DNA and saliva, also referred to as biological samples, are stored so that they can be available for future testing. Future testing may be done if you agree to our informed consent for research, or if you otherwise consent to future testing of your biological sample. Sections 8 and 10 below describe how you can control both your DNA data and your biological samples. So now they're referencing this informed consent for research, which is an entirely new page. Excuse me. If you use Facebook, to log into Ancestry services, we collect information from your Facebook profile that you choose to provide to us, for example, your Facebook profile information. Additional user information. Information that you provide to us when you answer email surveys or online questionnaires offered through the services. Your communications, your one-to-one communications with other Ancestry users through our communications features, as well as information you provide in communications with Ancestry member services. So that is also information that they collect. I'm just going back up to the top again. Yeah, they collect that information. And lastly, contests and promotionals. Personal information when you voluntarily participate in contests and special promotions we run through our services. So that's what the information they collect. Number 4, what information does Ancestry collect through your use of the services? Computer and mobile device information. Information about how you access our services, including the website you visited before and after Ancestry's site. That's interesting. The website you visited before and after Ancestry's site. The Internet Protocol IP address of your computer, mobile device, or the proxy server that you use to access the Internet, in addition to other technical information such as your computer operating system and your web browser, your mobile device identifier provided by your mobile device operating system and your mobile operating system, the name of your Internet service provider or mobile carrier. I wonder why they want to see what websites we visit before and after they visit Ancestry. We visit Ancestry. Interesting. Can't see why that should be collected. Information from cookies and similar technologies. Cookies and similar technologies are described in our cookie policy. Please refer to our cookie policy to learn about our practices and the controls we provide you. Information shared through social media features. If you interact with social media through the services, for example, like, tweet, pin, or follow us, links to sites such as Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, and YouTube, Ancestry will collect these interactions and whatever account information these services make available to us. Your interactions with these features are governed by the privacy statement of the applicable third-party company. Information from your use of the services. Information about your use of the services, such as when you search or access records or public family trees, which pages you view or links you click on, or when you add people to your tree, etc. Number 5, information we collect from other sources. Information category and the description of the use. Information from public and historical records. Ancestry collects records from various sources, usually from official record sources, including newspapers as well as birth, death and marriage records, which may contain personal information relating to you. These records are generally part of Ancestry's subscription services. Information from third parties. We may also receive information about you from third parties. For example, we may supplement the data we collect with demographic information licensed from third parties in order to personalize the services and our offers to you. If you purchase a gift subscription, we will collect personal information to complete the gift and notify the recipient. How does Ancestry use your personal information? Personal information, generally. We use your personal information to provide, personalize, improve, update and expand our services. This includes authenticating your access to the services and improving Ancestry information security, processing your payments for subscriptions, Ancestry DNA services and test kits and other premium products and features, building new and improving existing products and services, helping you create and providing insights about your family trees based on data in Ancestry's databases, issuing surveys and questionnaires to collect additional user information for use in the services, as well as facilitating product development and research initiatives, conducting scientific, statistical and historical research, and detecting and protecting against error, fraud or other criminal or malicious activity, and enforcing our terms and conditions. Communications. We use personal information to communicate with you about the services, such as when we respond to your inquiries to member services, alert you to potential relatives identified by DNA matching or through our family history services, for example, hints about potential ancestors in our database, alert you to records pertaining to people in your family tree or to whom you may be related, inform you of product changes or new products and services, ask you to participate in Ancestry media productions or testimonials, and provide you with information or request action in response to technical, security and other operational issues. Market new products and offers from us or our business partners. We use your personal information to market new products and offers from us or our business partners. This includes advertising personalized to you based on your interests. Note, you can control how we market to you by using the unsubscribe link in any email you receive, by changing your account preferences, or by following the instructions in any other marketing communications you receive. For more information, please see our cookie policy. Genetic information. Ancestry uses your genetic information for the following primary purposes: delivering ethnicity results, DNA matches, for example, close relatives or distant cousins from our database, and other information to help you learn more about yourself, your relatives and genetic family groups. Connecting you with your relatives in our database through features such as DNA matching or other product features, providing you other insights into what your DNA reveals about traits, personal health and wellness. We may also invite you to participate in surveys and questionnaires, entirely optional, based on your DNA data. Providing relevant results to assist you in discovering common ancestors and other details about your family history, as well as helping you connect with friends and family. Studying aggregated genetic information to better understand population and ethnicity-related health, wellness, aging or physical conditions. That's interesting. I haven't seen anything published on that by the company or any communication about it. They also use genetic information for conducting scientific, statistical and historical research, improving features and functionality in our existing DNA-related products and enhancing the customer experience across Ancestry products, improving the quality of our laboratory processes and technology, and building new products and services, including services related to personal health and wellness, which again is something we have not seen to date. We will seek additional consent from you before we collect and process additional sensitive personal information, for example health history, as part of your interaction with the services. When do we share your information and who are the recipients? Ancestry does not share your individual personal information, including your genetic information, with third parties without your additional consent, other than as described in this privacy statement. In particular, we will not share your genetic information with insurance companies, employers, or third-party marketers without your express consent. The circumstances described below explain when sharing might occur. So, people with whom your information may be shared, circumstances in which sharing might occur, other Ancestry users or others you may choose to share with. So any information you add to your Ancestry profile may be seen by other Ancestry users, as well as public family tree details. We do not show living people in your tree to other users without your permission. And DNA matches, when you choose to see and be seen by your DNA matches. If you share details of your family history or DNA experience outside the services, you do so at your own risk. So the second instance where sharing of your personal information might occur is with service providers. We use other companies to help us provide the services to you. As a result, these partner companies will have some of your information in their systems. Our partners are subject to contractual obligations governing data security and confidentiality consistent with this privacy statement and applicable laws. These processing partners include our laboratory partners, DNA test shipping providers, payment processors, cloud services, infrastructure providers, biological sample storage facilities, vendors that assist us in marketing, analytics and fraud prevention, and some member services functions. So that's the end of that particular section. Then other people with whom your information may be shared will be research partners. We share your genetic information with research partners only when you provide us with your express consent to do so through our informed consent to research. And you can click on the link there to go to that form. We're not going to do that. Research partners may include commercial or non-profit organizations that conduct or support scientific research. The development of therapeutics, medical devices, or related material to treat, diagnose, or predict health conditions. In some circumstances, a research partner or Ancestry may have a financial interest in the research arrangement. A list of our research partners can be found here, and you would click on the link to access that. So in other circumstances where your personal information may be shared would be legal or regulatory. We may share your personal information if we believe it is reasonably necessary to comply with valid legal process, for example, subpoenas and warrants, enforce or apply the Ancestry terms and conditions, protect the security or integrity of the services, or protect the rights, property, or safety of Ancestry, our employees, or users. If we are compelled to disclose your personal information to law enforcement, we will do our best to provide you with advance notice, unless we are prohibited under the law from doing so. In the interest of transparency, Ancestry produces a transparency report where we list the number of valid law enforcement requests for user data across all our sites. And that transparency report probably is also part of this privacy statement. Another situation where your personal information may be shared is if Ancestry is acquired. So if Ancestry or its businesses are acquired or transferred, including in connection with bankruptcy or similar proceedings, we will share your personal information with the acquiring or receiving entity. The promises in this privacy statement will continue to apply to your personal information that is transferred to the new entity. A note about aggregated data. Ancestry may disclose user information in an aggregated form as part of the services or our marketing or in scientific publications published by us or our research partners. For example, we might note the percentage of immigrants in a state that are from a particular geographic region or country. Such disclosure will never include personal information. So section 8, your choices and access to your personal information. Subject to certain exceptions, you have a right to request access to your personal information and to be provided with a copy of certain information you provided in a portable form, as well as to seek to update, delete, or correct this information by using the tools described below or by contacting Ancestry. Details and options for accessing this information are listed below. So the type of information, Ancestry, choices. You can access and update the personal information such as your email address, username, profile information, etc. that you provide to Ancestry at any time in the following sections of the privacy settings: profile, account options, site preferences, email preferences, test settings, and my alerts. To learn how to manage the privacy settings of any family trees you have created in Ancestry, you can click here and click on the link. Related brands. Ancestry tries to make it simple for you to manage your privacy across the services. You can manage your privacy settings for our related brands by clicking on the following links: Ancestry DNA, Fold3, newspapers, archives, and We Remember. Mobile. You can also control your information using the settings available in Ancestry mobile applications such as the Ancestry DNA, or We're Related apps. Controlling advertising. If you do not want us to use data about your interests or behaviors to serve you targeted ads, you may change your settings as described in our cookie policy. And for information on do not track, please see our cookie policy. So again, it takes us back to the cookie policy. Controlling family tree information download. Ancestry allows you to download your family tree information in the standard GEDCOM family tree file format in your family tree settings. Controlling genetic information download. Your DNA data belongs to you. You always have the option of downloading a file with your DNA data. Learn how here. Click the link. For more information on what is included in your DNA data download, go here and click another link. Section 9. What are Ancestry's retention practices? Ancestry services are fundamentally premised on the notion that the personal voyage of self-discovery is not a one-time event and continues over lengthy periods of time, possibly lifetimes. Additionally, and with particular regard to our subscribers and DNA customers who pay fees or purchase subscriptions, the ongoing enhancement of Ancestry's historical records and DNA features provide benefits and insights to our users over time. As a result, Ancestry's retention practices reflect this ongoing value by retaining user accounts in our system until our users inform us of their desire to delete their data or close their accounts. So, retention practices, category of information, retention period. Retaining your account. Ancestry will retain the personal information you provide while creating your account until such time as you ask us to close it. Retaining family tree. Due to the multi-generational significance of family trees, Ancestry will retain your family tree data as needed to provide you with continuous access, updated features, and the ability to enhance your family tree. Retaining your DNA. Ancestry retains your DNA as needed to provide you with the features and functionality you purchased or were gifted, including continuously updated features such as DNA matches, increasingly granular ethnicity estimates, and improved origins migration details, as well as new other features based on your DNA data. Retaining related brands. Ancestry-related brands, Fold3, newspapers.com, etc., have their own account logins and will retain your account as needed to provide you with continuous and updated services. You can delete these accounts at any time. Retaining usage information. In some cases, we choose to retain usage information, for example, visits to the site, in a depersonalized or aggregated form. Once aggregated, this information ceases to be personal and will not be subject to Ancestry user deletion requests. So they may retain your aggregated data in relation to usage information, the number of times you visit the site and so on. Section 10. How can I delete my personal information? You can delete your personal information from Ancestry in a number of ways. Deleting personal information. You can delete your personal information from Ancestry by logging into your account settings. To the extent you have shared information through the services, for example by making your family trees public or by sharing your DNA results directly with other users, Ancestry will not be able to remove any copies of information that other Ancestry members may have retained. So if they've taken a screenshot, Ancestry can't do anything about that. Please direct any request to remove information from linked archival records to the responsible archival entity. We will consider requests for removal of personal information from the searchable indexes of the records we hold on a case-by-case basis in accordance with law. If you have shared content with others, either directly or by making your family tree details available to other Ancestry members, some of your personal information may have been copied to other Ancestry members' family trees, which can only be removed by contacting the other Ancestry member and asking them to delete it. Deleting genetic information. Note, if you request that Ancestry delete your DNA data, we will delete all genetic information, including any derivative genetic information, ethnicity estimates, genetic relative matches, etc., from our production, development, analytics, and research systems within 30 days. To request the destruction of your biological samples, you must contact member services. Please note that if you have agreed to our informed consent to research, we will not be able to remove your genetic information from active or completed research projects, but we will not use it for any new research projects. Interesting that there is no time limit on how long biological samples will be stored. Perhaps it is indefinitely. So what about deleting in general? Please note there may be some latency in deleting your personal information from our backup systems after it has been deleted from our production, development, analytics, and research systems. Also, our laboratory partners may retain information they receive from us in order to comply with laws or regulations that may require them to do so, such as the Clinical Laboratory Improvements Amendments regulations administered by the US Food and Drug Administration. Ancestry may also retain certain information as reasonably necessary to comply with our legal obligations, including law enforcement requests, resolve disputes, maintain security, prevent fraud and abuse, as well as to comply with tax, payment industry, securities, and clinical regulatory compliance requirements. Section 11. Security. Ancestry maintains a comprehensive information security program designed to protect our customers' personal information using administrative, physical, and technical safeguards. The specific security measures used are based on the sensitivity of the personal information collected. We have measures in place to protect against inappropriate access, loss, misuse, or alteration of personal information, including genetic information, under our control. Ancestry's security team regularly reviews our security and privacy practices and enhances them as necessary to help ensure the integrity of our systems and your personal information. We use secure server software to encrypt personal information, including genetic information, and we only partner with security companies that meet and commit to our security standards. While we cannot guarantee that loss, misuse or alteration of data will not occur, we use reasonable efforts to prevent this. It is also important for you to guard against unauthorized access to your personal information by maintaining strong passwords and protecting against the unauthorized use of your computer or device. Section 12, data transfer. Any transfer of your personal and genetic information between Ancestry's Ireland-based company and Ancestry's US-based company for processing in the United States is conducted pursuant to established transfer mechanisms such as standard contractual clauses. And there's a little pop-up box, also known as SCCs or model clauses, are sets of contract clauses that were issued by the European Commission for purposes of establishing safeguards to allow for the transfer of personal information from the EU to countries such as the US that are not otherwise deemed to provide adequate protection for the data. Changes to this statement. We may modify this privacy statement at any time, but we will provide prominent advance notice of any material changes to this statement, such as posting a notice through the services on our websites or sending you an email to provide you the opportunity to review the changes and choose whether to continue using the services. We will also notify you of non-material changes to this statement as of their effective date by posting a notice through the services on our websites or sending you an email. Your continued use of our services after notice of non-material changes means that you consent to the updated privacy statement. So it's passive consent rather than active consent. If you object to any changes, you may delete your account through your account settings. California's Shine the Light. This is section 14. California Civil Code section 1798.83, known as the Shine the Light law, permits users who are California residents to request and obtain from us a list of what personal information, if any, we disclosed to third parties for their direct marketing purposes in the preceding calendar year, and the names and addresses of those third parties. Requests may be made only once a year and are free of charge. Under section 1798.83, Ancestry currently does not share any personal information with third parties for their own direct marketing purposes. Section 15. Legal basis under EU General Data Protection Regulation, GDPR, for processing personal information of EU residents. Where you have consented to data processing, your consent provides the legal basis to process your personal information. We rely on your explicit consent to process your genetic information. You have the right to withdraw consent at any time. Please note that your withdrawal of consent to collect and process your personal information will not affect the lawfulness of processing your personal information based on your consent before you withdrew your consent. So what happens when my 97-year-old aunt says, oh yes, please take a DNA test and you just manage everything for me? Is that allowed under this privacy statement? We may also process your personal information on the basis of contractual necessity to perform a contract we have with you. For example, we process your credit card details when you provide them in order to use our services or purchase access to premium features such as our DNA testing services. We may also process your personal information on the basis of our legitimate interests, including in providing and improving the services. For example, Ancestry has a legitimate interest in understanding your log-in history so we can assess your interaction with our services. We also have a legitimate interest in providing and developing interesting features to provide to our users. We use your personal information to keep our services safe and secure, and we do so as it is necessary necessary to pursue your and our legitimate interests in ensuring that our services are secure and to protect against fraud, spam, and abuse. Where we rely on legitimate interests to process your personal information, you have the right to object to such processing, meaning that you can ask us to stop. You can use your privacy settings to control certain ways in which we process your data. You can also contact us using the details below to object to other forms of processing. Section 16. Identity and contact details of the data controller. If you reside in the United States, Ancestry.com Operations Inc. and Ancestry.com DNA LLC are responsible for the use of your data and for responding to any requests related to your personal information. If you reside outside the United States, Ancestry Ireland Unlimited Company is your data controller. Contact information for these entities is listed at the bottom of this statement. Users outside of the United States may contact the Irish Data Protection Commission or your local data protection authority. Contact details of the data protection officer, email dpo@ancestry.com. Ancestry members can reach us using these phone numbers, or you may submit questions using this web form, and you click on the link to be taken there. Official correspondence must be sent via postal mail to, in the United States, Ancestry.com Operations Inc., Attention Privacy Office, 153 Townsend Street, Suite 800, San Francisco, CA 94107. For members located outside of the United States, Ancestry Ireland Unlimited Company, Attention Privacy Office, 52 to 55 Sir John Rogerson's Quay, Dublin D02 NA07, Ireland. And that is the end of the privacy statement, and that took approximately 45 minutes to read. In the next video, I'm going to look at the terms and conditions.